Good morning, welcome to the channel. This is Meredith, and today we're going to go to Great Stirrup Cay, which is the Norwegian Cruise Line's private island. So follow along with me as we go about our day. That's the Norwegian Cruise Line. And then this one over here is the Royal Caribbean Island. As soon as you step foot on the ship on day one, make sure that you book your tender times for any of the ports that require a tender, and then also make sure you book any of your theater and show times. Super sunny. Over there is the Bacardi bar. Here's the Beach Grill, which is where the buffet is going to be. There's zip lining. I think it's kind of expensive. I think it's like $50 per ride, I think, but don't quote me on it. In the zip line, there's a mini golf area, and there doesn't seem to be a tee. There's just a little putt-putt zone. Made it to the cabanas. We did not get one. They're like $500 or so. Due to the itinerary change, we're going to be here until 5:15. Originally, we were only supposed to be here until about 2 or so. So if you're also in one that changes where you go to Miami, you might want to consider renting something of some sort. Over here is the barbecue. Looks like there's also a Vizzy truck and some beverages. This is a food truck called Tropic Like It's Hot. Let's see what the menu is. Got ceviche, pork plate sandwich, mahi-mahi fish sandwich, baja spiced chicken, and then rum cake, coconut fudge bar. We're just missing hatching season. We're at the farthest away beach. There's actually a lot of beach chairs available still, and there's like a little bit of shade, not much. Okay, so there's a private retreat over there. So we were in tender group 35, and we got to the island at about 10. So we came to the farthest away beach, and we were able to actually find a space right underneath 3 palm trees. So we have to tag team getting food, beverages, because we kind of thought we were just going to come onto the island, take a look, eat a little bit, and then go back to the ship. But actually, since we found shade, it might stay a little bit longer. But we also we're wholly unprepared. I didn't bring my AirPod, I didn't bring my Kindle. Rough. The names of the restaurants are quite funny. The Stirrup, and then I think I told you the Tropic Like It's Hot. No Wi-Fi. I took a little bit of a nap. I'm gonna go find food now and also the restroom. Panicked and got one of everything. So this is the ceviche, this is the chicken sandwich, this is the pulled pork, it's really big actually, and this is the fish sandwich, and they all came with Lay's potato chips, and he just opened a fresh bag. So that's exciting. Making my way back to get another beverage. It's like 12:30. There are some tables over here by the bar. Some tropical Ritas. These are the slushies. So I'm gonna go back and take a little bit of an adventure and look for more food and beverages. Okay, over here is the beach closer to the ship, and it's a lot more busy than where we are. And as a time check-in, it's about 1:30. So again, we got to the island here. We were again tender group number 35, and it was about 10 o'clock. After we got off the ship, there were a lot of people in the queue for the zip line, but now it's a little bit quieter, and they took a break around lunch. so like from about 12 to 1. At the beginning, so over here is like a drink station, and then over on the left where there's a lot of people is the Bacardi station. Okay, so you know that the food closes at 2 p.m. So I think we missed out on the taco truck. I think there's only 2 hours of food, so all we got was sandwiches. The blue is just so pretty. So we didn't realize that food was going to be so limited in terms of hours. So we're back on the ship. It's like 4:30 or so. We're going to Oceans right now, so it's the same menu as usual.
It does look good. At least the chili does. I don't know about the lady.
They look saucy. Going to the steakhouse. I was just like,
Seven years has turned into 2 layers. Thank you.
oh my.
It smells really good.
Going to see the magician. So I know that most people don't care about any of these menus or anything, but I never could find them when I was looking to book the trip and things like that, so I wanted to record my screen and show you all of the menus and everything that I could find. So they'll be on the end of this video because otherwise it was a very short video, but I will also do a standalone if you don't want to hear my voiceover. But basically I just wanted to close out today because it was otherwise a pretty short video. Just give you some tips. So again, I'm just going to try to do this voiceover in one take, so I apologize if I stumble over words and things. The Great Stirrup Cay, really great experience. We wanted to go right away in the morning because we wanted to make sure we got some good chairs, make sure we weren't on a very crowded area, made sure we have a little bit of shade as possible, stuff like that. And again, our itinerary did get changed that morning, like very early in the morning, so that we were no longer going to go to Bermuda. So tomorrow's video will be when we're in Miami, which was swapped out for Bermuda. Again, we were not allowed to go because of the weather conditions, which is understandable. So always know when you go on a cruise that they can change your itinerary last minute and things like that. So just go with the flow. So we ended up actually having our tender ticket that we booked the very first day on embarkation day. We went there, we booked our shows, we booked our tender port and stuff like that. We also had booked one for Bermuda, I believe that was a tender port. I don't know, there's a lot of things to book when you get on the ship. So we made sure we did that, and we had a pretty early number actually, so we got there around 10 a.m. and that was perfect timing because we got exactly what we wanted, got in a drink or something before the crowds came on. And then also we were able to grab a little bit of the food, so there is actually quite a bit of food on the island. We only went to the one that was like quote unquote island themed, if that makes sense. They also had one that was like more like traditional like grill stuff, so like hamburgers, hot dogs, stuff like that. A lot of the families did go there, and then it looked kind of like cafeteria food, if you know what I mean, like from childhood. So if that's your speed, they have that. We did not try the desserts because honestly they didn't have trays, so I was kind of going alone because my friend did not want us to lose those seats, so she was holding down the fort. So I had to carry everything back by myself, so I was not able to grab desserts. The other one is there is a taco truck. We weren't able to try that because of not knowing that the food was going to time out, basically. A lot of the drinks were really good on the island. You can use your drink package, so we were able to use our free at sea there and then get anything basically free of charge inclusive, and we did not have to pay tax. So that was great. And then also we really liked or at least I liked it. I did a lot of the walking around because I wanted to walk off some calories. But I really liked the little truck that you're able to go there. The service was really great. I ended up actually tipping the people and things because the quote-unquote gratuities are included when you get the free at sea. That's what you pay. But you can always tip extra if you want to. So I paid a little bit of cash to the server there because he was working so hard all day long in the sun, and I don't know how he did it, so I wanted to make sure that he got a little bit of a tip on top of the gratuities. And then also there were quite a few other things to do on the island, so you could book some excursions. You could also book cabanas. So had we known that we were going to be there longer, we would have probably considered doing a cabana just because it would have given us shade. We got meal delivery and drinks and stuff like that delivered to us. We would have considered it because we also had some extra onboard credit that they gave us because of swapping out the itinerary and the port, things like that. There was also like a little marketplace, I believe, but don't quote me on this. I believe from my research that those are locals who are selling things there on the island in that little market area. There will not be any people that are going across the beaches and stuff trying to sell you bracelets and stuff like you sometimes see on other people's cruise videos because this is a private island. On top of that, there were some other excursions type things like the zip lining. That was a huge hit amongst all the kids. There were so many kids on our cruise. I think eventually I'm going to tell you how many kids there were. I think there was something like somebody said, I overheard them at breakfast on the last day saying there were like 1,200 kids on the cruise, which is so many kids. I might be misremembering it, but it was a lot of kids. And then on top of that, you can also book like inner tubes and what are those called? Like the flotation air mattress things. You can book those as well. And I think they also do snorkeling and jet skiing and things like that. So I think that was everything I really wanted to tell you. If you have the magician on board though, make sure you go to the show. I originally was kind of like, oh gosh, that's going to be so cheesy, you know? But actually, I think magicians are actually kind of cool these days amongst the kids. The entire like groups in there were all like Gen Alphas and like, not even Gen Alphas actually, what are they? They're like high schoolers, like 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds, like that age, and they were like having a blast. I think that magicians are cool again because I do remember going to the amateur night at the Apollo with my former colleagues, and they were all like Gen Z, and they were like, oh my gosh, I hope we see a magician. I guess it's cool now, I don't know. But he was actually really good, and that was probably the best show that I saw the entire time we were on the cruise. Oh yeah, food. Now that I'm seeing the menus go through, I probably would not go back to the steakhouse if I'm being 100% honest with you based on my experience. Even though it was quote unquote free at sea, so they used one of our credits for that, I probably next time I would probably book maybe the French restaurant or maybe the Italian one. I would honestly do the French one because I don't really like Italian food like that. But the steakhouse was okay, but realistically when we've had steak and my fish was not good. That fisherman's platter was not good at all. And when I've had the fish at like the main dining room, it was cooked perfectly. It wasn't dry. That was so dry. The fish was like screaming for help. It was like a dried pollock that you buy in an Asian grocery store. It was not good. And then my friend's steaks were okay, they said, but it like didn't really have any seasoning or anything like that. And then our appetizers were pretty okay. I would say that later on in the video you're going to see, or not the video, in the cruise, we will go to this seafood restaurant, and we had a very different experience. But just letting you know, I probably wouldn't go to the steakhouse again, just based on my experience there. Let me know if you have gone to the steakhouse. Maybe it was just a one-off, because again, I don't think that they were ready for how many people were going to be on this cruise, because the staff members were all saying that they hadn't had a fully booked cruise yet since the return, and this was fully booked and then some, if I'm being 100% with you. It was like 4,800 people, and they said more than 4,800 people. We didn't have the exact count. I didn't ask anyone. I'm sure they would have told me if I would have asked. But yeah, anyway, that is everything I have for you. Thank you again for watching. Follow along here for more videos like this. I'm also going to have a lot more travel videos and a lot more week of my life vlogs, weekend of my life vlogs, things like that, and unboxings and spoilers. And also follow me over on Instagram at Eat, Stretch, Explore. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.